Hey guys, today I am going to do a book review for you guys um, from by the books. It's called The Selection by Kiera, and I did listen to it as an audiobook just because it was easier for me to do that with my busy schedule with school because I love physical books so much, but I found a new love for audiobooks just because I do have the time to listen to something rather than sit and read in one corner. And I'm just going to review the first book in this video just because it might take time, so I'll just do a part two. And did I say what the book? Oh yeah, it's The Selection by Kiera. I'm like trying to think. But I did read the second one as well, called The Elite, and I cannot wait for the third one to come out. I heard it comes out in May next year. The Selection follows the story of a girl named America Singer in a kind of a dystopian world 300 years in the future in America, which is not her name is America Singer, by the way. She's about 17 years old, and it takes place in a country called Ilya, which I believe used to be the United States. And what she comes up with in the story, what she has to face, is about the choice of whether or not she wants to participate in this contest called the Selection that is being upheld by the monarchy that is in the country in order to find a suitable princess for the prince to marry. And basically they choose 35 girls out of the whole country, and America Senior just so happened to have been chosen even though she wasn't all for it herself. She was kind of forced into it. Before this even happens, she is in a secret relationship with a guy named Aspen, who is in a lower caste than her. And what castes are, it's basically like a social class, but it's a little bit more extravagant in the sense that it's from 1 to 8, 1 being the highest, being royalty, and then 8 being is like you just don't have any purpose in the society. Basically, America is what her caste is. She's a 5, and they're basically just entertainers in terms of like musicians who plays at parties and stuff, and that's her and her family, or like artists, depending if yeah, you can move up a caste in that kind of profession, but it's like popularity and money and stuff, so you can buy your way into caste. And Aspen, who she was having a secret relationship with before the selection, is a 6. And what makes up the 6 is basically servants. um it could be like a delivery boy, it could be somebody that works in a castle and stuff. And so they end up breaking up. I'm not spoiling this because you will read this within the first maybe 4 chapters of the book. And so that kind of pushed her to like decide to, okay, I'm gonna go join the cast. I mean, join the selection because this will take my mind off things. But I mean, she was just kind of there to get over her heartbreak and kind of please her mom, who really wanted her to be in it because obviously, like, who doesn't want their daughter to be a royalty, right? Uh, and so she goes into the games. There's 34 other girls with them, and she just so happens to meet Prince Maxon way before they officially were supposed to meet because something happens, and she gets caught off guard by how wrong she was about him. She thought she was pompous. She thought he was just not a good person, and by what she saw on the TV. And so they kind of form a friendship, which later turns into a little bit more. But then she gets conflicted because she doesn't know if uh, it's real. She doesn't want to believe it. What is she going to do with Aspen? Is she ever going to see him again? And so that's kind of like what it is. And the book also shows the dynamics of the relationship that she formed throughout the competition with the other girls. Some being really mean, and some where she kind of ends up being best friends with them. And the book chronicles the events and the tasks that they have to do and how eventually people start to get eliminated. And it just shows you how indecisive America is. To fall in love with Prince Maxon and is starting to get over, well, not necessarily get over, but she was starting to accept the fact that maybe they're just never going to be together. And then something big happens in the end that I don't want to spoil for you guys, and she gets kind of stuck in a rut where she doesn't know what she's going to do, and it's kind of, and then things kind of get out of control, and she just doesn't know if she's fit to be a princess or not, and if this is even really for her, even though it will bring great wealth and respect for her family. So basically that is the book. I like, in summary, without giving too much away, just in case you guys do want to read it. I found that I really enjoyed the first book a lot. I was able to read it, hear it, listen to it in maybe a day and a half, between just like by maybe like at school, walking, eating. I was listening to it. It was just, I don't know. There's something about the time period that it was set, that even though it was in the future, the author Kiera kind of made it relatable in the sense that it's not futuristic that way. It's just set in a different time, um, and the history of the country kind of makes you suspicious and stuff, because they don't like, the main character, America Singer herself, says that they don't really know much about their history, and so you kind of you get that kind of suspense in that matter. And I really like the book, and I just thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys. I just want to say that I'm Team Maxon, because he, based on what we see in the book, he is not a bad person at all, by all means. I actually liked his dynamics a lot better than Aspen for some reason. And it's not because he's a prince or anything like that, because he is genuinely a good person. For America Singer, as a protagonist, she gets kind of annoying just because she's kind of indecisive sometimes, and she's kind of irrational in that sense, and it kind of makes you be like, oh, seriously, like, don't you see that this person's really trying? Or, it's a good book, it's a good read, it's a light read, and yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. I just thought you guys should check it out, let you know that it is a good read, and I will review the second one for you in a different video, just as to not spoil anything and not to have too much things going on in one video. And so I will see you in the part 2. Bye.